All right, so I spent some time on Reddit. See?
Oh, yeah.
They do mold.
Black sesame seeds is, well, I guess it makes it. You have a lot of sesame. It's more of a dumpster. Just bring it on. Oh. I didn't know if I was supposed to try to catch it or not.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Collective Comics and the Lights Comics Action Podcast. We are diving into a juicy, deep water saliva. I don't know, making my mouth water episode. I was trying to think of something funny.
I didn't know where you were going with this.
I'm hungry.
We got the perfect episode for that.
We do.
We're doing a little bit of a mukbang. Mukbang.
Yeah, a little bit.
We got the Spiderverse Whoppers here with us.
Right.
So we're going to test those out. Did we say episode 33? I'm pretty sure we did.
I think I hit that right away. I think that's the one thing that I fit in here.
I got lost in the depths of the ocean of saliva you were engulfing me in.
Right. My mouth was just watering. I'm like, dude, water. Like, felt like SpongeBob. I need it.
So yeah, we got the Spider-Verse Whopper. When you're seeing this, when it comes out, I don't know if you're watching this on the day that it comes out. Spider-Verse comes out in about 3 days.
Yes.
This will come out Wednesday, and Spider-Verse comes out on Friday. So yeah, 2 days, 2 days ish. It comes out in that general area. So we're gonna eat this Whopper. Check it out. I haven't even seen one yet. I know they're a thing, but I have not looked at one. Mm-hmm. So this is gonna be an adventure.
Indeed. The thing that kind of intrigued me about this, I was gonna stay away from the big red burger that has clearly died, but I guess they completely, it sent me on a little bit of a deep dive. But Burger King has completely removed all preservatives and dyes out of their food.
Interesting.
And did these whole ad campaigns of showing pictures of moldy Whoppers. They do mold. They do go bad.
There's those McDonald's ones where you put a McDonald's burger in a bag for 3 years and it looks the exact same.
Yeah, it's just kind of dried out.
Yeah,
and that's it. It doesn't actually get old.
Yeah, this is a weird.
Yeah. So it turns out that they dye it with beet juice.
Okay.
So it's beet dye, so it's all natural.
I was kind of into it already when I thought it was just dye.
Right.
Code Red is pretty good, what can go wrong?
Right. I just know everybody's gonna everybody does freak out when they're like, oh, big red burger, red dye 40, right. Blue whatever 20.
Hey, I don't know if the show is on camera, but my body is not a temple. It's more of a dumpster. just bring it on. It's just garbage. My mouth's a garbage disposal going into a dumpster of a body that I have.
You are now a temple. You're the king of your own temple.
What is happening?
You're wearing the Spider-Verse crown.
That's cool.
All right, man.
It's kind of cool though. It's got the eyes on it.
Yeah.
You got the Spider-Verse eyes on it, the symbols.
That's very clearly Miles,
Oh, the temple of Jake.
Jungle J.
I gotta tell my wife.
Right? I'm a temple.
Did you know I'm a temple?
Yeah.
She wears the pants in the family. She won't buy that. Anyways, let's look at the Whopper. We've talked about it.
I think we got some fairly decent light here to really see the color of this Whopper. Let's open it.
Okay.
Whoa.
Black sesame seeds is, well, I guess it makes it. You have a lot of sesame seeds on yours.
I'm fine with that. I like seeds.
It is red. I was
seeing how red it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very red. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm going in. Go for it. This is not as juicy as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot more of a mess. So let's go in. What's up?
We have had them in a bag for
yeah.
My mom would be so disappointed that I'm talking with my mouth full.
Oh, big deal. That's the point of this.
Mukbang.
Yeah.
A little ASMR.
Yeah. There's no point And ever eating food on camera if you're not going to talk with your mouth full.
Just take fake bites.
Oh, absolutely not. No, it has to be a real bite.
Fake bites. Isn't that what they do in movies? Because they have to take like 40 takes, and if they eat something, they have to eat it 40 times in a row.
Does it taste different? Because I don't think it tastes any different other than the Swiss cheese that's on it.
I have to go in for another bite.
Go for another bite. Because I try to keep in mind, like, okay, it's flavor, it's dyed with beet juice. Mm-hmm. So, like, is this gonna, like, I would think, like, it should taste like beets. But Burger King released an official statement about it and how it's supposed to taste exactly the same.
It tastes the same to me.
I think it does.
I'm trying not to like butt chew right into the mic, but
I think it does. The funny thing is, I used to work at Aunt Millie's bread factory. We made the Burger King buns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every Tuesday or Thursday was Burger King Day.
Interesting.
So I didn't have to make the black ones back in the day or anything, and I've never seen anything red, but I'm kind of curious to see. I want to A/B it, and just grab a bun and see if they do taste exactly the same, because I feel...
Yeah, just the bun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's pickles, onions, there's all kinds of stuff that is a Whopper, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
The bun isn't the first...
But I want to know if it has some kind of, like, flavor,
right,
or something that is just slightly off of a normal bun, because I would think it would. Like,
yeah, I mean, if it's diet, I mean, it depends how much beet juice they have, how much beet juice they have to use. You know what I mean?
Dude, but it's a decent amount, because I don't know if y'all can see this. I'll try to like zoom in on it.
Beets are pretty, like, the color of beets is pretty strong though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost purple.
It is. Yeah, most beets are purple, but like just the color of. Like the color that you get off of a beet is pretty like overpowering in general already. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It would be interesting just to get the bun.
Yeah, they're definitely somehow dyeing the dough before they cook it, because like the middle of the bread.
Oh yeah, 100%
is red.
Yeah,
it's not like it's white on the inside. Yeah. It's like the crust that is.
I don't know how you would even do that unless. I don't know, airbrushing.
Yeah, that's like my first like thought. Like, do they,
somebody's
like,
in the back of Burger King hand airbrushing every Whopper as it goes out.
Right? Yeah, they do take a little bit longer, but
custom Whoppers. But I do want to take since the movie is coming out in a couple of days, we've heard a lot about this movie, and I want to kind of talk about some of the things that we are expecting. Obviously, we haven't seen it yet, so I mean. We could get everything that we're expecting, or we could get none of it. One of the common things that people were talking about, and I think we talked about it on Lights Comics Action once before, was we're going to be universe jumping in this one into different animation styles, allegedly. That's the rumors that we're getting. Mm-hmm. So are we going to get Miles like live action interacting with Tom Holland live action, or because Tom Holland is supposed to be in the movie?
Really?
I'm pretty sure Tom Holland is supposed to be in the movie. The question is Tom Holland going to be animated, or is Miles going to be real? What would you rather see?
Honestly, with given how the first movie was, I really don't know if I would like to see the styles be mixed that way. Kind of like Space Jam and like Roger Rabbit. Mm-hmm. I think maybe if it was just a split second or something like that, I'll be fine with it, But it would have to be literally for like a split second.
I think it's more like, cause like there's going to be different styles. So, and this is totally speculation. We could both be right, could both be wrong. I think it's like if Miles jumps through a portal to like anime, you'll see Miles in an anime style in an anime environment. So if he jumped to like a live action environment, we would get basically they'd be leaking who's playing Miles live action moving forward.
But isn't young Peter dead?
What do you mean?
Didn't he die in the first one?
I don't think
Peter
anything
Parker
matters because it's so like universe jumping. You know what I mean?
Well, Peter Parker, I think the thing is that, from my understanding, is where it's leaving off is that, leaving off with the last story, that Miles is now if this you want to call this main Earth or Prime Earth or whatever, like main timeline, Miles is now the only Spider-Man in this timeline. You know, everybody else is multiverse stuff because Peter died when Miles first became Spider-Man, and then the older version of Peter came back from the multiverse.
Right, yeah.
But then he went back.
Right, yeah.
At the end.
But if he's jumping, I would assume that if he jumps universe to a Tom Holland, then he would be jumping to the current Marvel MCU timeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I don't think it really matters. I mean, the first one is amazing, and I love the first one, but I don't think the actual story really matters all that much because it is so universe jumping. And I think there's supposed to be like way more in this one. We're getting so many different versions of Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So it's, as far as like which Earth is which Earth and which timeline, I feel like which Earth is more of a DC thing, like Earth 1, Earth 2.
Yeah.
But
this is the Spider-Verse, you know.
But I would assume that if he jumps to like a Tom Holland, that would be like a 616, right?
I guess, yeah.
So, I mean, I guess even if we get Miles live action from his universe, it doesn't necessarily mean that's the Miles from our universe. You know, it gets so confusing. But
that's the hard part. The one thing that I do think that this movie is going to have is a lot more first appearances of these spider characters. And I don't know if you heard, but 2 or 3 weeks ago, Spider-Man issue 7 was released off the new run.
Okay.
And it was the first cover appearance and the first appearance of Spider-Boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I did not know about this.
So this thing shot up the next day to, I think, $30 or $50 is what it shot up to the next day after everybody went and bought them all.
Is that because of the Spider-Verse stuff going on, or?
I think it's the first appearance of another Spider character, and it's a cover appearance of a Spider character. Anytime there has anything to do with a new Spider character, things hit the fan.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And fans jump the gun. So I think that's a lot of what's happening here. But there's a lot of speculation that he could be coming into Across the Spider-Verse, which it doesn't surprise me at all if they do that. I think if they did that, it would really actually put a staple in the character and make him one of the next potential big Miles Morales type of characters or Spider characters, Spider-Gwen, you know, stuff that kind of popped off like that. But it all depends on how they treat specifically, especially him, on if that book is going to maintain value or go up in value. I think now would be a great time to introduce that character, especially because of the hype with the comic book, and it would all just kind of play hand in hand, and we'll see some big stuff popping off. So that's one thing that I think is going to kind of be happening in this movie. I'll take a bite. I'll join you.
I think it's going to come down to... Hold on. Oh. I didn't know if I was supposed to try to catch it or not. Am I supposed to catch stuff falling from your mouth? With my mouth? Oh, just get under... Like you're putting your head under a soda fountain. You're going to choke, bro. All right, Spider-Verse. I think we're in a weird situation. This chewing thing. We either need to do like separate videos for this in the future, or we need to like take a bite and then just like finish it off camera. All right, I think we're both done eating. I feel so bad for the audio listeners.
Me too, a little bit, but at the same time, it's kind of fun to just purposely be messy because you're making a video. Right. So it's like, just let it fall on me. Screw it.
Next time, we should just start doing like monthly Happy Meal videos. Just see what the toy is. Right. I think right now they're Guardians of the Galaxy.
They are, because I just got my son a Groot. I ordered a Happy Meal the other day.
We're totally off topic at this point, but when I was younger, my grandpa worked at McDonald's for a really long time. Like he had other jobs, but then he retired and like went to McDonald's as a retirement job. Mm-hmm. And he would get every single toy. Because you can just go to McDonald's and buy the toys. You don't have to get a Happy Meal to get, like...
How much do they charge you for the toy?
I don't know.
Probably the price of a Happy Meal.
I worked at McDonald's so long ago now, but... why not get a cheeseburger while you're at it, though? That's the thing. He's like... but yeah, he would have every single one, and he had like a room. I mean, it was kind of like this. He had a shelf like all the way around the room, and he had little shelves, and every every Happy Meal toy for every like
fun toy
for every and it was kind of one of those like grandparents' houses where like the adults are talking, like kids disappear kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So we just like sit in that room and play with Happy Meal toys like all the time. It was interesting. Anyways, back to Spider-Verse. I think we're in a weird time where like even if Spider-Boy's not in it for the movie, you can still get an appearance of him, which opens up the potential to have Spider-Verse 3 be Miles, Peter, and Spider-Boy. Or, Gwen, or what is it? The Amazing Spidey Friends or something?
Yeah, the
kid
one.
Like have a grown-up version of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think just getting him in something as big as like Into the Spider-Verse movie. Whoa. I'll catch it in my mouth. And then I just think including it at all in something like this, even if it's like an end credit scene or whatever, I think it just opens up so much for the potential. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess it's realistically just like I think we're going to see him.
Right.
It's just are they going to play the slow game with him and lead the fans on and let us keep doing this whole thing that we're doing, or are they just going to give it to us and not even have the courtesy to spit on it?
Maybe we won't even. Never. I'm gonna stop there. I'm super excited about it. The trailers for this movie look so good.
Yes.
I love the first one. Maybe I'll just rewatch it like 3 times before we see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like this movie's so good.
I want to say that the Spider-Verse movie, the first one, obviously the one that's out, I watch that pretty often, like on my own, like aside from like my son wanting to watch Spider-Man, like I choose that one pretty often now, and I'm getting more and more involved into it, and I want to see kind of like the longevity play out of the art style and what they did, because I think they really broke some ground with their animation style.
It was
awesome.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, the way that they did it like changed a lot of animation. I mean, there were other people doing it a little bit, but how deep they dove into it was like game changing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And looking forward into like this Ninja Turtles movie coming out, it's like it's almost like it feels like the Spider-Verse equation, whatever it's called, just like taking a step further.
Like the formula.
Yeah. Because a lot of like Spider-Verse was 3D, but then they put like 2D backgrounds in.
Yeah.
And then they went in after the fact and went frame by frame and drew 2D like outlines on some stuff, details. And like the turtles almost look like super like simple 3D stuff, and just all of the detail is 2D.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just from one trailer or one sneak peek or whatever, but I'm really excited to see how far that goes as well.
Me too.
Like animation, I love animation, so it's cool to see like how animation pretty much started as a couple pictures of a horse going around in a circle, and you could see the horse running.
Yeah.
To like what we're doing now, and we're still this much later in an industry, and they're still like breaking new grounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're doing new stuff. MODOK came out on Hulu. There's a whole season that just came out, and it's all stop motion.
Oh, sweet.
So they like 3D printed, like, I don't even remember what they said. It was like a crazy number of puppets, and they have MODOKs that like they can take, like they have like the bottom, like the body of MODOK, but they can take his face out and put in different faces. Dang. Some of them have different wigs on, and you know, like not Nightmare on Elm Street. What is it? The Christmas one.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. That was stop motion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was puppets. That was wire armatures.
And Tim Burton.
Yeah, that movie's super overrated. Yeah. But we can get into that another time. But yeah, so like this is like it's like a whole new spin on it using the technology and laser cutters and 3D printing and all the stuff that we have now. And it's just, I think it's so cool that we're seeing new stuff come out of an industry that's so old. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, dude. And, like, we're seeing a lot more figures kind of doing the same thing, and it almost makes me think, like, did the figures inspire that kind of style and with the 3D characters but 2D detail? You know, so yeah. So they kind of do the action figures, and they call them comic, like painted like the comics, so they're like comic painted.
Yeah, true to comic or whatever. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, and to where it has the shadows that are literally painted on the figure with like jet black ink, and you can vary, like the shadows are ingrained into the figure and into the paint instead of it being like a real 3D thing that you're letting the light actually do the shadows and stuff for you. I see a lot of it with the Ninja Turtle stuff, especially now.
Yeah.
That the new stuff is coming out. And I think that could have been like the potential to start doing that because we started seeing those, I want to say back in like 2016, 2017.
I mean, even look at like Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Robot Chicken was a lot of stop motion with action figures.
Yeah, and they were like literally drawing the eyes and the mouth on.
Yeah. They would literally take like a Spider-Man and a Captain America and a Batman and make a little skit out of it, and it's all stop motion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that just goes to strengthen your point, your idea, whatever. So I mean, we're literally had people doing that with these action figures, and then they make the action figures details stronger, and they're like, we could do this in 3D. We could do this in Blender. We could do this in 3ds Max, whatever it may be.
Yeah. You kind of start seeing how, I don't know, just the progression and where we went from everything being 2D to then making figures look like 2D characters, you know, or making the 2D characters come to life and look like a real figure. And then we kind of almost take a step back, and it's like, okay, now how do we take this real figure and make it look more like a cartoon? But then that's 10,000 steps forward almost. Right, you know what I'm saying?
It's like think of Mario. Mario was always 2D, you know?
Yep.
But then you have Mario pillows, you have Mario action figures, you have Mario little statues, you have little toys, so they made him 3D. So now, you know, you see these things, and if they put the details on there from the 2D game, I feel like that's like a slippery slope that happens really quick of, you know, where does this detail go, and how do we do it? Why do we do it this way? Could we do it a different way?
Right.
You know, and I feel like those are some questions that Spider-Verse was really on like the foreground of making it like, holy cow, this is a thing. Like, it looks amazing.
And people liked it.
Yeah.
At first, it threw me off at first, but then it almost had to like take my eyes a second to get used to it. But then once I got used to it, I was like, this is way cool.
I was like instantly. I saw like 1 second of the trailer, and I was like, really? This is so cool.
See, I didn't see the trailer or any of that before I saw the movie. When that movie came out, I mean, of course, I was into comics and stuff like that, but I really wasn't, at least at that time, hearing too much about Spider-Verse. I didn't hear a lot about it until it popped once it came out.
Really?
Yeah. You know, once it came out, everybody went crazy, and that's when I first found out about Miles Morales, and I was like, who is this Miles Morales? And then that's when I fell in love.
I feel like I always have like this weird interaction with new things coming out. It's like I'll watch trailers. Like before we started this channel, all the time it would happen. I watch like the new Avengers movie trailer, be like, oh, it looks so good, I'm gonna see this immediately. But then I'm like, everybody wants to wait, or nobody really wants to see it, so then I'm waiting. And then finally it comes out on Disney, and then I finally watch it by myself, or I wait for my wife to want to watch it. You know, now it's just like, it's coming out, it's going to be super dope, let's go. You know what I mean? And it's super fun to be able to do those things, you know? I feel like it was the same thing with Spider-Verse. The first one is like, I was so into it, so loved the idea so much, and then I don't think I actually saw the movie until it came on like wherever, Netflix, Amazon, wherever.
Yeah, you didn't go to see it.
Right.
Did it hit theaters?
I don't know.
I was going to say, I don't know if the first one hit theaters, and that was another reason why I'm like, maybe I didn't know about this.
Yeah, then it was a while.
Because before that, it was Far From Home. Was the last Spidey before Miles, right? Or am I messed up?
I feel like, I don't know, I'd have to look at the timeline. I feel like Spider-Verse was before Far From Home. Maybe Homecoming. Am I tripping?
No, Homecoming was definitely before Spider-Verse.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because that was the whole... Because Miles was already a thing. Miles has been a thing since 2014.
Yeah. Was it a thing? Because that was the whole thing with...
Well, the guy that he met, he literally met what is...
Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
Who's going to be the Prowler.
I feel like Spider-Verse was before that, though. Because weren't people trying so hard to get Donald Glover to be the new Spider-Man? And that's why he was in the first movie, as like a nod to the fans. Like, we can't make him Spider-Man, but we will make him this character.
I don't know.
We have to fact
because he's Miles' uncle,
right? Yeah, in the movie.
Yeah, but his uncle Aaron is a major character in Miles' life,
right? But like the original Miles design was originally based on Donald Glover. It was like,
I don't know.
It was like a mix of like Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, same person, okay, and like. I read this article when Miles first came out, and it was like new Spider-Man design mix between Donald Glover and like Obama. It was like something crazy. And it was like, what?
I think because the comic was already out by the time.
Oh yeah, that came out like back in like 2014. But they were already talking about him in like 2012, like.
Maybe I'm messed up and I'm thinking maybe it's 2010. I'm probably getting dates confused or something. Yeah. I just know it was like it was about 10 years ago.
I just know I was still in the Army when I first found out about Miles, and I got out of the Army in 2013. 2013, 2014.
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
So it definitely came out like him as a character was at least not a with the idea was at least entertained before I was out. You know what I mean? So it's definitely crazy. And I know there was a huge thing about everybody wanted Donald Glover to be the new Spider-Man. But then like his age never would have lined up, and you know there was a million reasons why, other than it's the
same reason why everybody else had to stop playing Spider-Man.
Yeah. Other than like obviously Donald Glover is black, Miles is black. Spider-Man's traditionally white, which I don't ever have a problem with.
But he's just too old.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He's way too old. Like Miles is still in high school.
Besides the whole skin color race thing, like there's other reasons why Donald Glover wouldn't be a good.
Yeah.
And as big as he is now, he would never be around for this many movies, or you know what I mean? He's huge.
I think we have more potential in seeing him continue on as Miles' uncle, and staying in the movies at that point. If he were to play Miles
making
Morales,
cameos, or
Well, the big thing with Miles is that his uncle Aaron turns into the Prowler, or he finds out that his uncle went to jail and was gone for a long time because he is the Prowler, and he finds out because he's battling the Prowler, and then the mask comes off.
But you never need Donald Glover there for that.
if you want to keep him as Miles' uncle in the MCU.
No,
that's what I'm
saying you never physically need, like, unless the mask comes off, like, you never need Donald Glover on set for that character. You know what I mean?
But then you don't get the Miles interaction between him and his uncle, to where like his uncle's almost like a father figure to him and trying to push him in the right direction and actually the complete opposite direction that he's going. But then he ends up having to fight his uncle without knowing, and then when it comes to the detrimental moment, finds out it's his uncle.
You could probably get Donald Glover for 2 days to film all the mask off stuff, and then have the double there for the rest of shooting. You know what I mean? Exactly like what Ant-Man did for Civil War or whatever. He was on set for like 1 or 2 days, shot all the mask off stuff. The rest of the movie is Paul Wall. I can't. He didn't. Call a jewelry store, tell him make me a grill. Mike Jones. Anyways, Paul Rudd wasn't even there. Like, he wasn't there for like any of the shooting of Civil War. So I feel like what you're saying is definitely valid, because you can do so much of that without Donald Glover on set.
Yeah. Dude, I'm sorry. You know what I thought you said?
What?
I thought you went to go say Paul Walker.
Oh, no.
And then I thought you said, Paul that hit a wall.
Oh,
That's
no.
what I thought you said.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, oh, no, he didn't.
That is way different than what happened.
Yeah, dude, that's why I was like, you did not just...
Hold on. We got to find out. Do you know who Paul Wall is?
No, I thought you... And then I thought you started saying Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd is Ant-Man in Civil War. Yeah.
Okay.
I meant to say Paul Rudd, but I said Paul Wall. And you not knowing Paul Wall shoots this whole thing down.
Yeah.
Granted, it was a mistake, but it could have been a funny joke. I thought you laughed because you know who Paul Wall is.
No. I laughed because of what I thought you said. Because I was like, you did what?
Paul Wall is a rapper from Texas.
Okay.
And his big thing is grills. Everybody goes to Paul Wall for the grills.
Okay.
And he had a song back, I don't even know what year, and it was call a jewelry store, tell them make me a grill. And it was a whole Paul Wall thing.
Dang.
Yeah, it's we're gonna have to do this off. We're gonna have to do this off camera.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get your final thoughts going into Spider-Verse. What are you thinking?
I think I'm very, very excited to see what this has to hold. Hopefully, I mean, it's Miles. It's Miles. I've already made my decision that I am a lifelong fan of Miles. There's really nothing that they can do to make me not a fan of Miles anymore. So
don't challenge Marvel. They will do it.
I'll challenge them. I challenge them to sponsor this podcast.
Oh.
But
it's Marvel. It's a company called Marvel, but it's spelled wrong.
Marvel.
Yeah.
With a little over it.
That's actually a butter company. They just sell butter. Hey, we saw your podcast and we'd like to sponsor you.
All right.
We'll send you 3 sticks of butter a month.
You know what? I'll take it.
I mean, butter. You can use butter for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
My body is not a temple. I will butter my body. I'll start a grease fire in this dumpster, bro.
I'll butter your body. But yeah, I'm excited about Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man, Spider-Boys, Spider-Gwen, all of them.
Dude, Ghost Spider, Spider-Gwen confused me for so long. I knew it as Spider-Gwen. I never knew it was Ghost Spider. That's a conversation for another time. Let's get into the next topic.
Let's do it.
Explosions!
There is a Suicide Squad game coming out. And we saw an ad thinking it was out already. And you thought it was out. And you were like, what is this game? And I was like, I never heard of this game. So we pulled it up and watched the trailer, and this thing looks dope. It's Suicide Squad. What is it called? Kill the Justice League?
Kills the Justice League.
Yeah. And it looks so good. It reminds me a lot of like Borderlands. What did you say?
Crackdown.
Yeah. It's
Gears of War-esque.
Yeah.
Like the third-person
and it
shooter.
Looks so cool. It looks like it's going to be a multiplayer game.
Mm-hmm,
So I mean, We got to get on one of these games that's a multiplayer superhero game. We need to start streaming it or something.
100%, man.
We need to do this.
I've been doing the Spider-Man games for a little... not streaming them, but been playing those for a little bit too long, and I'm like, I need a multiplayer game, man.
Yeah, I know. I played Gotham Knights, which was good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. What?
Good.
Good. It was good. But... yeah, I'm super pumped. It looks like it's coming out 2024. I don't remember the exact month, but
February.
Now it's on our radar, so hopefully we can keep up with it a little bit and, see when this comes out. And we'll try to get some more information for sure.
Right.
I'm pumped about it. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good, especially because, like, basically you're the Suicide Squad, and you're members of the Suicide Squad having to kill the Justice League. But from the little bit of a trailer that I saw, the Justice League is like the deceased Justice League.
Yeah, it almost looks like they almost become the deceased versions one by one.
Yep.
And then at some point, Wonder Woman is there and finds out she has to do some things she doesn't want to do to save everybody. And yeah, I mean, we saw, who did we see? We saw Deadshot.
Harley
Quinn, Boomerang,
King Shark.
Yes, King Shark looks dope.
He looks really cool in that one. I just saw he actually looks a lot like the new Sideshow statue that just got released.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have to look into it.
He had like the Arkham Asylum orange jumpsuit pants.
Oh, yeah.
It's like halfway down. He's like wearing the top part around his waist.
Halfway down, around his knees.
No, just barely above his butt crack. I think it's just barely showing. No, I'm joking.
King Shark butt crack.
Yeah.
King Shark baby butt crack.
Right. Just like the Thanos booty crack. You know what I'm talking about? The seductive Thanos statue.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
That is hilarious. Did you see the warehouse picture of that? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
The warehouse. It was just like 2,000 bare butt naked Thanos with their butts up in the air.
There were blurred parts. It's so funny. But overall, super dope looking game. I love it. We've been talking about possibly finding a game multiplayer that we can get into together. So I think maybe this one will definitely, like I said, be on our radar.
100%. And we don't have to wait as long as we will for Ronin.
Yes.
I'm excited about the Ronin one too.
Right on.
Explosions!
All right, so I spent some time on Reddit. I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But it actually it made me start noticing something. At least a common trend in the community, the comic community lately, is that, dude, everybody has a stick up their butt.
Booty sticks?
Yeah, booty sticks. Everybody's got booty sticks. But I don't know, man. It's just I literally felt like I got attacked on a Reddit post talking about grading comics. Somebody asked for a recommendation or like a rough estimate of what their comic, is it worth being graded, yada, yada, yada. So I put a comment on there and I was like, I think, it's really worth grading if you want to preserve it.
Right, yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're trying to flip it, then of course dollar signs go into it and math goes into it. But if you're not trying to flip it and it's something that you want to keep and properly store and preserve, 100% go ahead and get it graded. But dude, I had like 3 or 4 people on me telling me that if you grade your comics, you're not a true collector, which just blows my mind.
Right.
Because I'm like, what? I know a lot of collectors that only buy graded comics.
Right.
Or that only buy comics to get graded.
Yeah.
They don't want the raw stuff because they want to keep it nice and they want it on the wall and stuff like that. And it just really surprised me. And then I started seeing more comments pop up on videos like Reggie Collects over on YouTube, to where, okay, bro. So like I was saying, so I wrote down some of these comments just because it was. I was like, what is going on here? A lot of them were saying that you can't collect for investment purposes. True collectors don't buy to invest. When I know probably every single serious collector that I know buys comics to invest.
Right, yeah.
Into comics. I mean, granted, of course you have to like them. Of course you have to like them and get into comics, but if you want to not have to keep spending your own money into comics, the best way to start doing that is to think about books like, oh, this is a good deal right now. I can probably sell that for a little bit more and put that towards something else, or trade this for that. And that's kind of the game.
And that's how you get your grails and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Exactly. You know, and I don't know. And then I'm just like, what is in the water right now that is making everybody so mad, to the point where they're saying things on these in these comment sections that just don't make any sense to me. Like one of them was, you're ruining the hobby selling any books over cover price.
Okay. So
Superman #1 is still only worth 10 cents.
The selling Superman book. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
You know,
you can't sell that book for it just seems to me like people first there's two trains of thought that are going through my mind right now. There's people who want to try to talk collectors down on their prices so they can take them and then make investments on them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't do this. Don't sell it for more than cover price. And then you finally find the person that you can talk into selling it to you for cover price or just over cover price, whatever it may be. And then you turn around and sell it for whatever it's actually worth. Why would anybody do that? Yeah. You know what I mean? You're out here trying to just get deals for yourself, or maybe you don't have any money. You know what I mean?
I think that's a big part of it.
Maybe you can't afford it. I can't afford a lot of things.
I can't afford the Superman #1. I can't afford a lot of things that I want.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the name of the game. You know what I mean? I don't understand and I'm not saying this is how everybody thinks, but I don't understand why so many people right now think they deserve everything that they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want this, so I deserve it. And if you're going to stand in my way, you're the piece of crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, how dare you for seeing a business opportunity and selling this comic?
Yeah. I mean, it's not even that. It's just like, I want whatever car. I want a Tesla. How dare Tesla sell cars for what they're selling them for? That's just what they cost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want a Tesla and if that's what you have to have, then you need to figure out how to afford a Tesla.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tesla doesn't need to lower their prices to accommodate you. There are situations where this doesn't apply. And I know that there's a lot of people, me included, that don't get paid what they're worth. Mm-hmm. And that's screwed. That's messed up.
Yes.
I agree. But there's nothing that I'm going to do to a massive company or a massive industry to just finesse the things that I want out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's just... Unfortunately, that's not how our country works. That's not how a lot of life works.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, first of all, why you feel entitled to whatever you want whenever you want it. I don't, you know what I mean? That makes me feel like I'm an old guy. You know what I mean? It makes me feel like the new kids these days but most of these people complaining are my age or older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why are you entitled to this comic book price just because you want it?
Yeah, I don't get it. I think it's the pure fact of jealousy and somebody wanting something and seeing that they want it, knowing they can't afford it, and trying to figure out, I don't know, some type of way to get these books to come down to the point where they can afford it.
So my question, not to you, but to you, whoever feels this way, if you're a collector, you're a real collector, and you have a collection full of books that is not your grail, it's not anything that you really want or can see yourself holding on to, what are you doing with your books? Are you just going to throw them away?
Right. Why don't you just give them to somebody?
But I'm saying, like, why don't you look into what your books are worth that you currently have so you can afford whatever you want?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you might not have the ability to do so. Maybe this is the first comic you've ever looked at and you feel like you deserve it. But where does that train of thought come from? Yeah. You know what I mean? And why? That's the beauty of collecting. You can collect however you want. You can't tell me how to collect. You and I collect completely differently.
We do,
know what I mean?
100%.
And that's totally cool. And like we've said before, that gets us both an opportunity to see. So I can see things that you get that I would never get. You can see things that I get that you would never get. Like we're into for the most part, we're into different heroes. We're into different styles.
Yeah.
Like you are a lot more into comics, and I like the trades. I like omnibuses. You collect totally different action figures, and
I was gonna say I've been getting really into the action figure game lately.
The art that we collect is totally different, but we get to see each other's art, which is super cool. Like there's so like you don't have to collect the same as anybody. Do you want to shut that fan off? Like it doesn't have to be the same. Like I don't have to collect the way that everybody else collects.
Yeah.
If you want to collect for investment, that's your way of collecting, and that's totally fine. Like who's to tell you that you can't?
These guys on YouTube and Reddit.
I mean, would they even say anything to you if they came up to your stand at a C2E2 or you know what I mean? Like
yeah. That's the whole thing, and like that's what really bugs me is that like this does not happen. I mean, don't get me wrong. People come up and people try to get a deal at a booth. I'm sure a lot of you, or I have for sure, gone up to booths, talked about a book, maybe thought, hey, maybe this book can come down $5 because I think that it's in a little bit of less condition or something like that. Then I think that I can get $5 off of it. I've done it. You know, everybody does it. Like that's kind of like the point, but they don't go up and totally. You don't go up to the guy that has a wall of slabs at his booth and tell him those are all completely worthless. You should get all those raw and you'll make a lot more money.
There's no, I don't get it. There's a lot of things that I don't understand. I feel like I don't even remember what episode we talked about. We're like, just like, I feel like I got on my hippie stuff and was like, everybody should love everybody and everybody should respect each other. And like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to be on the internet telling people that their way to enjoy something is wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And realistically, kind of spreading false information.
Yeah.
Because as, you know, I think it's the same episode that you're talking about. We kind of talked about us coming from music, and we have multiple times in that there's a lot of what I would say is gatekeeping and kind of things that are happening like this throughout the music industry and you know, to the point where people don't even want you listening to the same bands that they listen to.
Yeah, I listened to them before they were cool.
Yeah,
kind
like
of mentality.
Who cares, dude?
Yeah.
Like why can't you just celebrate that this band popped off and that they're doing good in their career and I can enjoy it just as much as you enjoy it?
It's almost like are you a fan of the band or are you just a fan of yourself?
Yeah.
Like that's what it seems like. Like the band is cool, but as long as they don't get famous, so I can be the cool person, the person that's different for liking them for this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like
I mean, we don't care, but they, for some reason, clearly care.
I mean, the band needs to also buy bread and milk and you know,
and
like
pay their
eggs
bills and feed their kids and stuff like that, and get on the road and get to the next stop. And dude, we've done it. You know, it's ruthless, and the spreading of false information for your personal, I don't know if it's satisfaction or if you're actually able to. If this kind of information, you're able to trick people into deals or manipulate people into some way by leaving these comments, I don't think that you have any power just leaving a comment on a video or a Reddit post.
I mean, you can leave your opinion.
Yeah.
But putting your opinion out there like it's how everybody has to live their life, that's where I think it's different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think that's something that's cool about how you talk about grading is like, you're like, if you want to grade it for you, then grade it. There's no dollar amount or a reason why you shouldn't grade something. Mm-hmm. And I think that's super cool when somebody who collects takes that approach rather than, yeah, you should grade it. Don't grade this as a piece of garbage. That could be that person's favorite book. Why not grade it? Why not have that for 100%. Yourself? 100%. You know what I mean? Like we said, you don't have to collect like everybody else does. You don't have to collect for the dollars. Mm-hmm. You can collect for the dollars. I feel like there's also like a gray area in here where like I feel like it's more common in like shoes and things like that, where it's like, I don't like shoes, but I'm going to buy as many of these as I can because they're worth something. And like, if you don't care for the industry at all, other than other than being money. Like, I feel like that's a little bit of a different discussion that we don't have to get into. Mm-hmm. But being somebody who just loves comics and happens to know the industry enough to make a little bit of money to buy different comics, like, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? Like,
that's what we do. That's what I do.
That's what a lot that's what a lot of comic industry is built off of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't mean to like talk down on different collecting avenues like shoes. Like, there are people who love shoes mm-hmm. and also do what they do. I know there's bots and all kinds of things over there that people are very opinionated on, and that's something that I don't know about. But I think if you care for the industry, then I don't think it matters how you navigate that industry, as long as you're not like hurting anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not actively trying to damage people. You know what I mean? You're not trying to rip people off.
And that's what it seems like is their goal.
Right. Yeah.
When they're leaving these comments is to damage people and not necessarily rip people off, because not that they're trying to rip people off, but they're trying to tell somebody that has a nice book in their possession and they're taking a photo of and asking for an opinion on it, that they shouldn't do this because it's not true to collecting and all this other crap.
Yeah.
You know, to get them to not grade their nice book and get the value that they should out of their nice book.
And I think it does more damage because it's online for everybody to see. So if a kid who really enjoys comics and, you know, he's wondering if he should grade his favorite comic book, mm-hmm. That's the first thing he sees. Like, that's probably going to damage his perception of how he should treat his books.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future, until he can see or put together pieces that are like, oh, that's just that person's opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it takes a while. And by the time that it takes some growing mm-hmm. into the hobby to be able to get past that a little bit. But I feel like, especially to a kid, seeing that kind of stuff, you're just going to turn more and more people away from the hobby and away from collecting comic books, because now they're freaked out and don't know what to do, don't know how to do any of this, and they're looking for answers, and they're seeing people getting attacked.
Yeah.
You know, about grading their comic or not.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, there was another comment on it while we're on the graded comment topics that said grading comics is a scam, and that anything above a 9.4 is a scam book.
Okay.
Is what it is. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm like trying to make whatever, like trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate for him and be like, how is this a scam?
Yeah.
You know, but then I don't know if they're like thinking so hard into this, like, well, yeah, you know, if you pay CGC enough, they'll give you the 9.6, or you know, but that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just pay somebody at CGC more money to give you a nicer grade.
Yeah.
There's statistics and they're held to a certain standard. Yes, is there some human error that happens every once in a while to where a book could be 1 point less or 1 point more than what it should be at? Yes, but that is dependent on that grader. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll much rather trust the dude that sees 1,000 books every single day and does that for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, than, you know, anybody else looking at it and just being like, yeah, this could be this. Yeah, let's grade it and slab it and put it in there.
And I think it's okay to go back to the start of this conversation, you know, a person online just sending a picture of the cover and saying like, what do you think this is worth? That could be anything. There could be 15 pages missing out of it. You know what I mean? You have no idea. Even if you're getting an estimate on like if we're estimating grades, like some people are going to shoot for the stars, be like, yeah, you could get a 6.7, you know, not that that's a thing, but
you realized it too.
Yeah. I was just saying a number. You could get a crazy grade on this. Send it in. You'll get a crazy grade. It's so good. Or you could get somebody who shoots, you know, conservatively and be like, I feel like you could get like a 4 on there. I would much rather hear that I'm going to get a 4 and get a 6 than hear that I'm going to get a 6, invest all this time into it, and then end up with like a 3. You know what I mean? But also just keep in mind, like, these are people on the internet just kind of guessing based on what they can see. And there's a lot more that goes into it. And like we said, the grader that gets it on the day that he's grading it, it's human. You know what I mean? There's things that go into it. There's issues. There's this and that, but there are these people, like you said, who see thousands of books. They stick to some kind of formula, some kind of equation. You know what I mean?
They put it out. It's public knowledge on how to grade, how CGC sticks to it, and how other companies have stick to it. Before, it was every company stuck to the Overstreet Price Guide Advisor, but now CGC has officially put out how to grade a comic and their official formula on how big the cracks can be, how much of a color breaking spine tick there could be, all this different stuff. What pages can be missing, anything that you can think of, it's on that grading scale.
Right.
And that shows you, if your book has this is the grade.
Right.
You know, like, I don't know how much like clearer you can get on that, other than like maybe somebody being like, this could be a 9.8, could be a 9.6, maybe because of this one spine tick, but it's not big enough to actually count.
Yeah.
You know, because it measures under the size of the staple. You know, so it's not breaking past a certain point. So, you know what? Let's mark it a 9.8, and then, I don't know, in shipping it moves this much more, and then somebody's thinking, oh no, they marked it a 9.8 and it should be a 9.6 because it's the color breaking spine tick is bigger than
whatever it is. Yeah.
What the statistics should be, and
I'm getting passionate about this. So
yeah.
I think that's probably enough for this week on this topic. We'll keep our eyes out. I mean, we're not even keeping our eyes out. We're just kind of getting engulfed by some of the stuff, but it is happening out there. Just collect how you want to collect. Have some fun. That's what comics really come down to. You just enjoy it. Have fun with it. Look at it. Read it. If you don't read your comics, don't read your comics. Somebody else can read their comics. That's fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Other than that, I mean, that's cool. Yep. Comics are cool.
Comics are cool. Red Whoppers are cool.
Red Whoppers are cool.
Burger King's kind of cool.
Hey, you got a crown.
I did get a crown. I've been wearing it this whole time. I keep forgetting it's there, and then I like bump my head or something. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm still wearing this stupid thing. Right. I'm going to give it to my son.
You want to do an outro or you want to do a pull list?
I think we'll do an outro, man.
Outro?
Yep.
We talked for a while.
We talked for a long time.
It's
a
is
long
getting
podcast.
Hot in this room.
Yep.
It is. All right, guys. Be sure to check out the description below for things like free money on Whatnot using the link in our description to sign up. You can use that $10 anywhere on the site. You can buy comics from us, or you can buy shoes, clothes, antiques. There's wild stuff on Whatnot. Check it out with that link below. Sign up. Get 10% off Dubby.gg, your jitterless energy, using code Collective Comics at checkout.
It's on the hat, yo.
Yeah. Hey, be better, people leaving crappy comments on stuff. Anyways, until next time, this has been Collective Comics.